Hello, Internet! What is going on, everybody? Oh, we have a wonderful turnout here today, so obviously we don't need to tell you why you're here, but we'll say it anyways. We're here to celebrate TeraCMusic's new album, Crossing Worlds, music from Chrono Cross, and Nudge is dropping subs in chat, true to form. But Tara, what's going on? How are you today?
I'm doing very, very well. I'm very excited. It's been a really great, even just couple of weeks. I don't know. I'm just I feel like I'm kind of over the moon right now. So, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Yes, Doug, coming to you live from my real house. No, this is just some XSplit background. Oh, I think I broke the illusion there. There's anyways. Yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good. I'm really happy that that artists in this day and age are releasing wonderful tributes to music from an incredible and perhaps underrated game. Yeah, I've played Chrono Cross myself. I can't say that I've actually played through and beat the darn game because there are just too many routes to go, and I just have not sat down and committed myself to it. But Tara, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience playing Chrono Cross and some of the memories you have there?
Okay, sure. So, funny thing is, I actually have not played Chrono Cross.
Oh, fake gamer girl in chat. Oh no.
No, no. Okay, so let me just kind of walk through this.
Okay.
So basically, I've played Chrono Trigger, right? I played and beaten that game, and for the longest time, like Uematsu, he was on Final Fantasy. Obviously, he was like my biggest inspiration, just for video game music. But then Chrono Trigger, when I played that, I was like, wow, like Mitsuda has some really great stuff. This is really cool. And I don't know, I've always wanted to pay like a tribute to Mitsuda himself. But I know so many people have done Chrono Trigger albums already, and I just wanted to be something like I wanted to do something different, something that people haven't covered as much. And Chrono Cross, it's all him because I know Chrono Trigger, there were some tracks that Uematsu did to like kind of take over when Mitsuda was a bit sick and stuff. So Chrono Cross is purely Mitsuda's compositions and the music, because I listened to the OST and I'm like, holy cow, there's some amazing stuff in here. So that's kind of like how I decided to make the album. So yeah, I know I haven't actually played Chrono Cross, but I have watched, haven't finished watching, but I have watched a good chunk of Let's Play that someone has on YouTube. So I understand the story. I understand that there's a ton of freaking characters that you can recruit. I like kind of get like everything that's happening in the game at least. So it's not like I just did this blind and I don't know anything about the game. That's not true. But yeah, I haven't played it myself. So yeah.
Definitely. Well, maybe chat has played a little bit. Folks, how many people here have played Chrono Cross? Yeah, as you did say, like there's a ton of characters to recruit. I had to like wiki this, but there are a total of 45 different characters available for recruitment over the course of the entire game. It's pretty nuts. It feels like a game where you like your choices really do weigh in a lot when you're playing through the game too. Like these minor interactions that you might have with a character will just kind of like take you down an entirely different path. And so in that way, I guess it has a lot of replay value if you want to
Mhm.
commit yourself to going through that epic story all the time. But yeah, it's really nuts. I think I've gotten as far as the point where you can recruit this mushroom guy who kind of looks like
Oh my god, the
the mushroom guy. Like, okay, I was like, am I gonna have to get inappropriate describing the looks of this mushroom guy? But you know what they look like. So,
I know exactly what you're
oh my
talking
god,
about. Oh
fun
boy.
guy. Yes, that's his
Yeah, fun guy.
name.
There we go.
Oh my god. So yeah, so I don't know. I really do want to get back into playing it. Maybe it could be something that I play on bonus stage here, but yeah, so that's really beautiful that you wanted to cover some music for a game that you haven't played. But at least, yeah, you know from playing Chrono Trigger, you've got the love and respect for Mitsuda.
Yep.
Absolutely, like legendary composer. So thank you for for doing that. And we should also mention that you were not alone in this endeavor. You've actually recruited a huge number of people to collaborate on the tracks. There's like someone different on almost every track here.
Yeah, pretty much. And like I didn't realize it at the time, but it just kind of ended up being kind of like a parallel to the game itself and how you can recruit so many party members. I was just like, I have a ton of collaborators. Like it's fine. I can just say, that I did it like on purpose. But like, I mean, obviously I knew if I wanted to stick to my deadline of releasing this, like, this month in August, I needed other people to help me out, like to send me their parts and, just to kind of make it just sound better than just me alone. Cause I can only do so much, I can play piano, but like Purple Shala and Torby Brand, like they're much better pianists than I am, you know what I mean? So things like that, I just wanted to make sure that it sounded the absolute best it could. And if that meant that someone else was going to take the lead on, some parts here and there, I was totally fine with that. But yeah, it was really cool, like to have so many people on, and there's quite a few of them that I actually have never worked with before. So that was really fun too.
Awesome. And who among the collaborators would you point out as being the fun guy? Weird question, solely sideways, but now you have to answer it.
Oh gosh. Well, I feel like if I were gonna pick one of the ones that I like worked with for the first time, I feel like I had the most fun working with Thunderscott's recordings, because he did guitars, like the guitar parts, but he also did percussion as well. And it's just such a, like, you guys will hear it, but like it's such a nice, soothing, relaxing track, but it's also kind of upbeat, so I had a ton of fun like working on that. And he seemed to like really enjoy making that for me too. And we've been wanting to collaborate for years now, so I'm glad that we finally got to do that. But it's hard to, just pick one. But I think that one was like, I was like, okay, I really do like this track a lot. It actually wasn't even supposed to be on the album. So that's also another little tidbit of extra info for people. I was actually supposed to do Peril or Dilemma. But I wasn't able to actually do the arrangement and like figure out what I wanted to do with the track on time. So like I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do Arnie instead. So
well, maybe a future endeavor. Just throw it on as DLC.
Oh yeah, it's still planned. Like I'm probably gonna work on it with Ro, actually.
Very nice.
So at some point we'll probably still do that. But yeah, it's just not on the album. So that's all right though.
All right. Well, speaking of the album, do we want to start getting into the listening experience?
Yes, let's do it.
Awesome. And for this first track, on top of a listening experience, we also have a viewing experience because you've filmed for this first track, Scars of Time, and it's really well done. Do you want to pick it apart now or do that after we've listened to it?
Let's do, for the first one, let's just let them listen to it, and then we'll talk after.
All right, well, that sounds good to me. Folks, we'll see you on the other side. This is Scars of Time.
Enjoy.
All right. Yeah. Clap, clap. All the clapping in the chat. If you have hands, clap in the chat. If you don't have hands, then tell the computer to do it for you. That's wonderful. Sorry, that was super awkward. What was not awkward was that beautiful rendition of "Scars of Time," or
Thank
"Time's
you.
Scars." I think is the I can't remember what the
So
actual.
everyone calls it Time Scar, but the official English is Scars of Time. Like I actually tried to make it exactly how it is like on iTunes and Spotify, because that's supposed to be the official like titles. So yeah, Scars of Time technically, but everyone knows it as Time Scar. But yeah. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that people in the chat enjoyed it. That was a really fun one. I'm super, super thankful that I had two amazing musicians on there helping me out. We had Legend Dave on the bass, and he always slaps on the bass, let me tell you. So he did a great job. And then Hugo, actually, I've worked with him before on his channel. He usually does animated video game covers. So like he'll do the cover, but then he'll also like do the drawings and like animate it, which is really, really cool and probably takes a ton of time. I don't know how he does it, but I've worked with him, I think, at least once on his channel, but this is the first time that he's on my channel. So that was kind of cool. And so he did the piano and he also did the percussion. Actually, he did the programming of the percussion for me because I really suck at programming drums. So, but yeah, overall, like putting those together with, my strings and stuff, man, it just turned out so well. Like I'm super, super happy and super proud of that track for sure.
Definitely, you should be. And your voice taking place of the flute too. That was a really good artistic choice, and the delivery was top notch as well. When you like
Thank you.
switch to the high octave there, yeah, like Taladar was saying in chat, like, "Ooh, there's the chills right there."
Good. That's what I want. It's exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah, yeah. Just in the heat wave, just throw on some TeraCMusic, and you're good to go. Um, I could have used that a couple of weeks ago. Where were you, TeraCMusic? Damn it. Uh, yeah, that's wonderful. And then, of course, you filmed that. You were saying that
Mhm.
was a beach down in South California.
Yes, SoCal. So yeah, I actually I filmed that the same weekend. I don't even remember if it was the same day or not, but definitely the same weekend as the flowers blooming in the field cover, which was back in April. I filmed that like around my birthday actually, and I was in SoCal for that. So I was like, okay, we're gonna film flowers, flowers blooming in the field, flowers blooming in the church. And then we stayed at my boyfriend and I stayed at Oceanside, California, and so there's a pier there, and right on the beach, it's beautiful. And so we just decided to film Time Scar or Scars of Time there. And yeah, the footage turned out really well. Ro Panuganti did the editing for that, so I have
Nice.
him to thank because he's always good at color grading and things like that, and more of the cinematic style. I don't know, the way I edit my covers, it's not as cinematic as what he normally does. So I just kind of let him edit that and turned out really, really well. So yeah, it was fun. I want to do more outdoor filming for sure. Actually, the next video that I'll have on YouTube for this album is going to be me outside again. So it'll be kind of cool.
Nice, definitely. And you just dropped that video on YouTube. Was that yesterday? That
Yes, Scars of Time was yesterday. Yep.
All right, cool. I'm gonna make sure that everyone has the link to your YouTube so that they can go and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Don't
Please
forget
do.
to do that, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Okay, there you go. Now you're obligated. Awesome.
Thank you.
And of course, you had to open up the album with that track. Like, what else are you gonna do?
I know, right? I was like, I might as well just have the whole album sort of in like chronological order in terms of like how you hear it, like the tracks in the game. I just felt like it made sense,
Hmm.
because I wanted people to kind of relive that whole journey of playing the game. And so I don't know, it just kind of made sense to put all the tracks in order for like, how you hear them when you're actually playing the game.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Definitely. And speaking
definitely pretty cool.
of the journey, a good RPG typically, well, at least in the Chrono series, I'm pretty sure in a lot of other great ones, usually start in the home, in like that very like homely kind of place. Everything seems peaceful and safe,
Mm-hmm.
and you are almost like not aware that a grand adventure is about to start. But that's a really great segue into our second track. Your second track, Tara. Oh my God! And this is Arnie, the homeworld version, and you were talking up Thunderscott, of course, earlier. Um,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, String Player Gamer just showed up. What's going on, man? SPG in the house.
SPG. Yeah.
SPG. Awesome. Yeah. Is there anything more that you would like to say about this second track before we get into it?
Yeah. So I it is kind of interesting because when I was trying to figure out the track list for this album, I knew I wanted to be like at least like 10 tracks. Maybe 11, maybe 12 if I can fit in a 12th track, So I was really like debating on like what I wanted to do. I really wanted to do Dilemma or Peril, and then just didn't have a chance to do that. So Arnie was just kind of thrown in at the last minute. And like when I watched the Let's Play, because you do basically start off in Arnie, that's like your hometown, right? And I don't know, it's just something about the home world. I was just like, man, this is just so peaceful, so calming. Like, if I just need to find a guitarist that can do the parts, like, on a pretty strict like deadline, like have a pretty quick turnaround, and then like I'll be set. Like I'd be able to, do a quick arrangement of this. So yeah, you guys will be able to hear what I came up with, and I think you're gonna like it because I really do like this track. I think it turned out really well. So
Awesome. Okay. Well, then without further ado, let's do Arnie Homeworld. So good. So good. Everyone, I'm just going to echo everybody's words in chat. Chrono Cross, let's go. Yes, absolutely. I know I said it about the last one too, but the singing here really enhances this. Yes, I was saying the exact same thing to Tera backstage here. And like, you've got such a gorgeous voice, Tera. Of course you
Well,
need to
thank
put
you.
that into the album. Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of funny because honestly, when I did like I went to music school, right, and I graduated with a bachelor's in music, but my primary instrument was violin and not voice. But the more time goes on, like I just feel more and more comfortable singing, like even more so than playing the violin. So it's kind of strange, but like I'm really glad like everyone really likes the singing because like that's honestly I have the most fun when I'm singing. So yeah, I'm just really glad people are liking it.
three letters in common, close enough. Voice a Lin. Oh God. But it's so nice because then you don't have to pick it up. You don't have to pull it out of the case or nothing. You just there it
Right.
is. It's you're carrying it around with you at all times. So thank you for that, for doing that, and and adding it to these wonderful tracks. Yeah. And somebody else was bringing up as well about the album art. It's incredible. And did you want to talk a little bit more about that? We were kind of debating how do we actually pronounce this artist's name.
I don't really know how to pronounce her name, but I found her on, I want to say Instagram. It was either Instagram or DeviantArt.
Hmm.
I had another artist that I had commissioned a couple times to draw and like do the artwork for my compilation albums. I really like that kind of aesthetic where you have like this beautiful background and then like the silhouette, right, and like shadow and like usually like me, like it's me holding the violin, whatever, with like the green bow. But I don't know. I wanted to just try someone else, and she had a very similar aesthetic. And so I just like hit her up and asked her, you're open for commissions. Can you do this? Can you do that? And yeah, I sent her some reference pictures. I sent her a couple pictures of me at Oceanside Pier, some pictures that we had taken. And then I sent her a couple pictures of Kid, actually, like in the opening scene in Chrono Cross, where she's got her back facing, and then she like turns around, and then you can see the beach and the ocean and stuff like that. So I sent her Opasa Beach, all those things, and she just did a phenomenal job with that art. I was like, "Holy cow, this is amazing!" I
Hmm.
wanted her to get my there it is. Yeah, I wanted her to get like what I had wore for Scars of Time, that outfit, and she did a good job with that. It had my bow in the back. Like she nailed it. Like I'm so happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, definitely. And like it kind of speaks to the story of Chrono Trigger a little bit too, because you've got you've got like the island off in the distance, you've got the birds who are free, and you're like looking on into the distance and thinking like, oh, what's out there, just a little
Yeah.
bit out of reach. There's so much out there to discover. It's really really gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So good. I'm so happy with how it turned out.
10 out of 10. Cool. Oh my gosh, do you want to keep going? Okay, no, never mind. Let's just stop the listening party right here. Two tracks. Go buy the album on Bandcamp, everybody. We're done here. Good night. No,
No
just.
further explanation necessary. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man, yeah, but I did just drop the link in chat there. Anybody who doesn't have it yet, you're a fool. Go over to Bandcamp and get it there. Or, of course, we've got the album link there as well. If you want to go and check it out on any other music platforms. Yeah, and Sounddrop. Actually, maybe we can take a minute to talk about
Yes.
Sounddrop because they are incredible people. Um,
Yes, they are.
yeah, like how
Absolutely.
quick of a turnaround did they give you on your release?
So what's funny? Um, when okay, so I had waited until Sounddrop changed their fee structure because they used to be $9.99 per composition for the licensing, and so that would have been if I did 10 tracks, because if you do Bandcamp you get the bonus track, so it's 11, but
Yeah.
10 tracks would have been $99, right? And that's I was okay with paying that, but then they said, oh, it's gonna be 99 cents starting August 2nd. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait until August 2nd and like submit it then. So I did it on that day, but they were also doing like a rebrand of their logo and stuff like that and their website.
Mhm.
So something happened. I don't know what exactly happened, but I had set it. I had submitted everything. I set it for the 25th with the pre-orders on the 11th, all that jazz, and submitted it. The next day, they say that it's live. And I'm like, "Wait, what? What happened?" And apparently my schedule, the dates that I had chosen didn't save, and they just pushed it out ASAP. So literally the next day it was actually like online
Oh
on some
no.
services, and I had to tell them to take it down, and then I had to redo it. So that was a bit of a pain, but I don't, there's I don't know.
How do you
I don't
fault
blame
them?
them for it. It's not
Yeah.
their fault, right? I think it was just like the glitch with the system, trying to get everything worked out. And learning experience for me, for sure. Maybe wait an extra day before I do something like that when there's a big change to the website.
Your first album, you're allowed to make a couple of missteps. No
Yeah,
worries.
yeah, exactly. No, really, it is a big learning experience. I've never done this before, so there's a lot of things that I had learned just by going through this process. So, but Sounddrop is amazing. I'm actually sponsored by them, so they're great. Like, I don't want to use any other distributor
Yeah.
because I know that they do it right. You know what I mean? I had used DistroKid in the past, but there's always some I don't know, some issues, I'll say, with DistroKid that I personally do not like. I'm not okay with. So, yeah, Sounddrop all the way. They are
Mhm.
so amazing. I'm always able to get a resolution very quickly with them if there's any problems. They're very easy to reach out to and contact. So yeah, they're so good. Like, I don't want to use anyone else.
Yeah.
So.
In a way, I feel like we're all sponsored by Sounddrop. And what a natural segue to this word from our sponsor. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, man. But speaking of segues, why don't we get into our next track here? This one features Purple Shala.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's called Reminiscence. I'm racking my brain over my knowledge of the Chrono Cross original soundtrack, but, but
Yes, so this
me.
one plays in the beginning. It plays a couple times throughout the game, but the first time you hear it is in the beginning with Lena, who's also like, she's like a childhood friend of Sergey. Don't really know how people pronounce it. The Let's Player I had watched said Serge. So yeah, you get to hear that track kind of towards the very beginning of the game, and it's a beautiful track. It's originally just a piano solo, but I added violin and viola, so it ended up being kind of like a trio. And there is a little hint of something. We'll see if someone can catch it. There's another melody that I put in there towards the end, and we'll see if anyone can figure out what that was.
There's a hint in the name. The name. All right, I'm not going to spoil anything else. Yeah, folks, here it is. We've got a Reminiscence featuring Purple Shala. All right, folks. Yeah, what's the hidden track in that arrangement? Leave your answers in the comments, and we'll have a prize drawing from our sponsor. Actually, no, no, no. Okay, hold on. Who's got it? Is anybody got it? Because we do have something to give out if anybody gets
Mm.
it. Yearning of the Wind, 600 AD.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the final kind of got it.
final kind of
Yeah.
got it.
So I'm not sure if that's like the proper name, but yeah. So Taladar got it. It's like technically it's like wind. I guess wind scene, yearning of the wind. Though, yeah, that is correct. That's the
Okay.
one.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, do you want to give Final Effect 6 the first prize of the evening?
Sure.
All
Sure.
right. And Final Effect 6, what we have for you is a download code on Bandcamp for the album. So if you already have it and you'd like to give it to somebody else, then let us know. But otherwise, I'm fully prepared to give you this code. Yeah, hold
He
on.
might have already got. I don't remember if he did though.
Okay. Well, we'll give it to you
Let us
during
know.
the next song.
Mm.
Yeah. You already have it, so someone else can have it. Okay, definitely. Taladar's still like me, 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 and Taladar was correct with the wind scene. So Taladar, if you don't have the album yet, maybe we can hand that on to you during the next song. But yeah, that gosh, what a beautiful rendition of that track from Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger as well. Yeah, and Purple Charlotte did such an incredible job. God, she's
She's
amazing.
always, man. She's just like her playing is just like so like sensitive and like I don't know, it's just oozing with the emotion and that's what I need, like that's what gets me is when someone's very emotive when they're playing. Because I feel like I'm like that way too. If I'm playing and I'm making my arrangements and stuff, like everyone talks about like how the emotions come across really well. So like that's what I look for when I'm trying to find collaborators. But she did just such a great job, and she got the piano part to me in like a matter of days because she was like, "Oh yeah, no, I already know how to play this." And I was like, "Okay." So she was like on top of it, which is really really great, especially when I was working with that kind of deadline that I had set myself. So yeah, everyone needs to check out Purple Shala, Ruby. If you are not subbed to her, you need to fix that right now because she is a phenomenal pianist.
I'm trying to emulate that stank face from like that musician meme, like that I don't know, it must have been like some choir boy or something who's like just like when you say somebody can turn something around like that, that's oh my
Mm.
god. Oh, amazing. Yeah, okay, great. Well, let's keep things rolling then. We
Okay.
have another track coming up, and this one also has a viewing experience attached at the hip. This next track is called Shore of Dreams, and this is the Another World rendition. And so, folks, if you don't know, in the game of Chrono Cross, you find yourself traveling between two versions of the same world. And so, oftentimes, a song will have an arrangement that matches your home world, and then there's a arrangement for the Another World. And so, this one is from Another World. Do you want to tell
There
us a little
actually
bit about it?
is there is no homeworld version of this,
Oh.
which is interesting. It only plays in the Another World. It's the overworld theme when you're in Another World. But yeah, this track, honestly, I've been wanting to do this for a while. And I had an arrangement in mind a few years prior, and there are some arrangements that I've had in the works for years, and just like I've just sat on them until I felt like I was like ready, like it was time for me to like actually go and give it that treatment that like like my skills have improved and like mixing has improved, things like that. So this one I actually first released in I want to say 2018. And at that time I was in South Korea, which to me was like a whole nother world, right? So I was, again, with the parallels, I was like, this would be amazing if I could film this in South Korea. And so when I was in South Korea, I taught English there for 2 years. And where I was living, it was close to a beach, actually. I was living in Taean, and there was a beach like 15 minutes drive that was called Malipo. So I went to Malipo. I had a friend. And he like filmed me right there at Malipo while I was performing the Shore of Dreams cover. And so I really like how it turned out. Again, I just thought it was really cool that I was in a completely different country on the other side of the world, new experiences and everything. And I just felt like this, like if I'm going to do the cover, like this is the time to do it, because like the video would come out really well and it'll have like more of a personal significance to me, especially being back in the States now. I can look back and be like, man, Korea, can kind of reminisce about it in that sense. So,
well, Reminiscence was the last track. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all good. All right. Well, cool. Well, shall we get into it then?
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. Folks, this is Shore of Dreams, Another World. All right. And we're back. Yes. The beautiful beaches of South Korea.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh man. And that was like 3 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, so I had a couple of covers that I already done of Chrono Cross, and I wanted to include them on the album because I was like, might as well. It would give me less work, right? And have to do all these tracks like from scratch. So I was like, okay, I'll add Dream of the Shore Near Another World, or Shore of Dreams, Another World. I was like, let's add that on there. That's fine. I tweaked the mix like a tiny bit, and then I had Julia, who is the mastering engineer, like she mastered it for me. So yeah, in general, the arrangements, like, yeah, the exact same as what you guys heard. It just sounds a little bit better, in my opinion, on the album. Because again, that was from 2018. That was 3 years ago. I've gotten a lot better at a lot of things since 2018. So thankfully. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed. It was so much fun to film. Had to get up early. to make the way there while the sun was rising. And yeah, it was honestly super, super cool to be able to film on the beach. So yeah, in South Korea. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I've never been. Ah, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a short of dreams, a distant shore. There's like a lot of those kind of themes in Chrono Cross, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh man. Uh, okay, cool. Well, phew, why don't we just keep things rolling then? I feel like we're starting to pick up our pace a little bit. That one you didn't have
Yeah.
any collaborators on. Uh,
Correct.
but the next one you've got two of them, and
Mm,
I gotta say I feel like a bit of a noob. Maybe I'm gonna embarrass myself by saying that you have some name. Most of the names that you have on your album credits here, I am not familiar with. But I do see our good friend Ro on this next track,
yes.
and
Yes, yes.
Samantha Ballard. Do you want to tell us a little bit about working with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I've worked with Ro a lot. I think our first collaboration was back in 2012.
Wow.
And it was like a half collaboration, if you will. He basically took my what was it? Oh gosh, it was the Dragonborn Comes. He
Skyrim.
took basically my whole like cover that I did and he just threw guitars on top of it. And then yeah, we've obviously he and I have both grown a ton since then. So I've worked with him loads of times. But Samantha, she's a harpist. I've never worked with a harpist before. So I've never worked with her before. And it was really, really cool to work with her. She was super, super nice. And like I had sent her some sheet music for, you know, the harp part. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and practice it and I'll, you know, let you know if there's anything that maybe could be fixed or whatever. She like sent me voice recordings and like little notes and screenshots. And she's like, oh, you know, if I play this part this way, it'll sound like this. But if we do it this way and separate it a little bit, then it'll ring out better. And I'm like, ooh, okay, this is good. So she was super, super like so awesome. Like she gave me so much feedback and how to make it a little bit more catered to the harp itself, because I don't know how to write for a harp. Like figured it's gotta be similar enough to a piano. I don't know.
It's got strings. Just write violin parts for it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, not that. I know that
Pizzicato,
much.
yeah.
But yeah, she was very helpful. And I definitely took her feedback to heart. And, you know, I wanted to make it easier for her to play, obviously. So that was really cool. And again, Ro, I mean, he does the bass for this track, which, again, he's a great freaking guitarist and he plays bass pretty darn well as well. So yeah, I was just happy to get Ro on there because I've been on his albums, like pretty much almost every album that he's done. So I was like, I got to get him on mine just to return the favor a little bit. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, then here it is. This one is called The Departed Ones. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Claps, lighters, nut breads.
This is everything.
There's like, I don't know. I find that musically, I'm a big fan of trios.
Mm,
Like quartets and like bigger musical ensembles, like amazing always. But like, there's something about the tightness of a trio that just like really it speaks to dynamics and emotion like so well to me.
It
Yeah.
gives it more space. Like it doesn't even have to be a trio, but just like a smaller ensemble. I feel like it does kind of feel more intimate, and yeah, it kind of just gives you just like all of the feels. Like I mean, I had pretty sure at least one viola. Yeah, I had viola, violin 2, violin 1 in that, as well as like the harp and rose bass part. But yeah, still it felt intimate. I don't know. It's really really nice sounding, and I used to be afraid of having just one track per part, because I'm all about layering. If you guys know any of my covers, I pretty much try to layer. I sometimes have 4 takes per part, and like make it sound more of an orchestra. Um, but with this, I just wanted to go smaller, and again, deadline, so didn't want to put too much work and too much time into these arrangements, but obviously enough time where it felt like it was authentic, and I'm actually putting an effort. So I'm actually liking that kind of I guess ensemble more and more, like just feeling comfortable doing like just one take per part, and just making sure that those takes are really good. So yeah,
Mhm.
definitely a great track. I do love the original as well. So
How long did it take you to put that one together?
you know, if I pulled up FL Studio, I could probably actually tell you the work time. But if I were to guess, it'd probably be around 10 hours.
Oh
Probably
wow.
10 to 12, maybe a little bit more. But usually, yeah, if there's less parts to it, and especially with the collaborators, it doesn't take me as long. Or if you're to, I don't know, probably Shallow's theme as an example, a cover that I did back in 2019, I'm sure that was like pushing 40 hours.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah. Another
big
point for
difference.
trios. Ding.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, and that track, the Departed ones. What
Mm.
do you remember? What part of the game that is in? It feels like we're looking at
Yes.
someone's grave on a hill or something.
Yes, it's very, very, yeah, almost exactly. So there's a grave site or like a memorial. I think it's off of Termina, one of the towns,
Hmm.
and there's like a shell looking thing, and you kind of like Termina looks almost like Santorini, like Greece, and then you kind of like walk down, and then there's like a little path, and then there's like this huge like seashell looking thing, and there's a sword there, and then if you click on the sword, and it says like here lies like such and such. And when you first arrive there and you learn about, I think you learn about the history of like the people who have died there. There's one specific person that's like more important, but there's a woman that's kind of recounting the past, and that's when that track plays. So it's definitely, yeah, like looking at a grave and like kind of thinking about the good days, but also kind of grieving, right? Like, because you have that loss. So
Hmm. Oh man. Well, that's beautiful, and you certainly paid it an excellent tribute.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the next track we have lined up here is Gold Dove. I think that's how you pronounce it, Gold Dove or Goldove. Maybe Gold Dove because it's like a cove, kind of. Am I
I
right on that?
Goldove, Gold. I actually don't know how. I feel like I'd say Goldove,
Hmm.
but I'm not positive because you think of like a dove, you say dove.
Yeah.
So, and then gold, like gulls and doves. So it has to be gold dove, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe that's a good
The
one.
birds. So that's you're probably right.
Gold
How
Duck.
you
There
how
it
you
is.
pronounce.
There's the correct answer. Yes, Gold Duck. Thank you. It's Pikachu. Oh gosh. Oh man. But Gold Dove, if I'm remembering correctly, that's like another. It's it's like the town, like one of the first like larger towns that you get to in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a town that's like just surrounded by water.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's another like more homey sound. Like Termina's music and Marbule's music wasn't really homey,
Right.
but I feel like Arnie and Goldove, like those ones are the ones that like kind of just have like more of the emotional like kind of tag to them.
I'm sensing the common thread between the tracks that you've chosen for this album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just a sucker for emotional stuff. So yeah.
Oh, well, good on you, honestly. Yeah, and you worked with Torby Brand on this one. Do you want to tell us a little bit about
Yes.
what Torby did?
Sure, yeah. So Torby is actually a pianist, and I have not worked with him before. I've heard about him. I've seen some of his covers on YouTube, and I'm always about expanding and collaborating with new people that I haven't collaborated with before. So yeah, I reached out to Torby. He was like super on board, and he recorded through like MIDI, like VST. Which is different because like Purple Shella, Ruby, she has like an actual grand piano. Like she plays it and just records that. But Torby had it through VST. So if there's any issues with like, how like a track he sent me, like a wave file, I'd be like, oh, this note, can you change it to that? And he's like, sure. And then he'll just like change it in the MIDI. And it's like, that's so nice.
That's so
Like
convenient.
I do that too. This one I do MIDI VST stuff.
Nice.
For when I do my piano. I don't actually record the sounds of the piano itself.
Mm.
And I like that kind of flexibility so that if something, if I do make a mistake, I can just fix it in post and I don't have to worry about having to re-record the whole thing like I would if I were to play on an actual grand piano. So
jealous guitar player over here.
Yeah. So yeah, Torby did a really great job. Again, he's got very like emotional playing as well. You guys will hear it. It sounds very warm and inviting. And again, that's the kind of mood that I wanted. So
awesome. All right, well, let's get into Gold Dove.
Homeworld.
Homeworld, yes, thank you. Awesome. Okay, enjoy. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. As I said in chat, that one just really tugs on my heartstrings. Such a beautiful melody. God damn. Uh,
I know Mitsuda is so good. I
oh,
just there's so many tracks that I wanted to do covers of, and I'm like, man, I have to somehow narrow it down to like just the really, really good ones. So yeah, that one made it on there. Such a
uh,
freaking good track. Like the melody and just you felt that like warmth, right? Like
yeah.
that just like feeling of like just homey. I don't know. It's so so good.
Hmm. Yeah, and that one, I think I'm remembering it now. Like the town that's like surrounded by water. Everyone's kind of got like these. It's almost like little homes built off of like a large branch of piers,
Like a
and
raft kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone and like the homey vibe that you would have in a village like that, where everybody's just kind of like, depending on each other for their daily needs and stuff like that, living off of the sea and kind of like
Yeah.
the peace of all that too.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
gosh.
Yeah, you nailed it. Not homey, it's anothery.
Yeah.
Yeah, humming. I guess you're right, but I mean the melody's the same in the homeworld version too, so just
So
the
there you
instrumentation's a
go.
bit different.
Take that. Yeah, technically
Yeah.
correct. Oh God. Yeah, that's beautiful. And to be honest, like I did not discern, sorry, Torby Brand's performance from a VST. That was really well done.
Yeah. So I mean, he still played it, he played the piano part, but he just recorded it using a good VST that he had. So,
Yeah.
a lot of them are live sampled from actual grand pianos. So that's probably why it sounds so authentic.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just for me in general, working with like a VST MIDI, it's just easier. So I'm glad that that's how he works as well. So yeah, that music video, like I said in the chat, it's gonna come out next Wednesday. And I did film outdoors for that. I did actually send Josh my thumbnail for that. I'm not sure if
Oh,
you're able to share that at all, but I did it in my backyard, and it was during the sunset hour, like the golden hour.
hmm.
And yeah, I'm really liking how that one turned out, and I might do more covers during like that kind of window of time where the sun's setting, because it's just that soft lighting. It's very very warm in general, like in terms of the video. So I think it's matching really well with the audio.
Nice. Who's going to be editing that video?
Oh, it's already done.
Oh, it's done. Okay.
So I edited
Oh,
that one.
nice. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. All right. Yeah, I'll pull up that thumbnail maybe during the next track because I don't want to mess up my beautiful layout. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah,
all
no, that's
very
okay. That's all right.
fragile.
I sent it just in
Oh
case.
god.
Otherwise, people will be able to see it because I'm going to do a premiere for it. They'll be able to see like the thumbnail for it probably, I want to say like Sunday or Monday. That's probably when I'll set the premiere, like that page, so that people can see it and like set reminders. But it's honestly, it's a really, really good video. Like I'm really happy with how the outdoor shots turned out. So I'm really excited for everyone else to see it too.
Mm, nice. The golden hour. Some people call it the babe hour. Everyone looks so freaking attractive in that light.
That is true. Yeah, it's very flattering for people. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I didn't even know it existed until recently when I like found out, and I was like, "Oh, let me just try it in my backyard." So, yeah, it's cool.
Awesome. And there's the link fresh in the chat so that folks can go and subscribe and ding that freaking bell on TeraCMusic's YouTube page. So you see that when it comes out on Wednesday.
Yes, on the first it should be. I think, right? I think that's right.
Yeah, that's the first. Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Oh gosh, actually, speaking of which, I think the first that's gonna be like a Twitch no stream day. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, it's in response to all of the hate raids. Um, yeah, I
Oh.
don't know if anybody is aware of all that, but just so you know, I feel like I need to be a responsible streamer and just say it on Twitch. Like people are
Yeah.
protesting Twitch's response, or rather lack thereof, towards all these hate raids and stuff that are going on, and so Yeah, September 1st is going to be a great day to be over on YouTube checking out TeraCMusic's new video because nothing will be happening on Twitch, or at least it shouldn't
There
be.
you go.
Yeah, definitely. There's the tie-in. You're like, Josh, where are we
Yeah.
going? This sounds catastrophic. Oh, God.
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, I had heard about the hate raids and stuff. I didn't know that there was like a kind of scheduled like day of not streaming to kind of protest that.
I just found out about it recently, so thought I would do the service of passing it along.
Yes.
Yeah, but on a brighter note, we've got more wonderful music from TeraCMusic. Awesome. And you've got 2 collaborators on this next track as well. This is called Bound by Fate, and it's featuring Andy Rue. And totally feel free to stop me if I'm going to mess this up, but Israfel Cello?
That, I think, was pretty spot on.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about them and what they're doing for this track?
Yeah, absolutely. So those who know the original source material, Bound by Fate, and when it plays, it's, again, very emotional. And what you hear is basically like a string quartet, I guess I would say. And I wanted to keep that kind of instrumentation the best I could. So I had Andy Rue do the double bass. And then Israfel Cello, who I've worked with before, amazing cellist. So he's actually doing the cello for this track. And yeah, it was my first time working with Andy. Really great job, though. He did a phenomenal job recording. It sounds really, really nice. One kind of cool trivia, though, pretty much all of the tracks that I have on the album were recorded and mixed in FL Studio, except for Bound by Fate. Because there's a tempo change in the middle of the arrangement, and FL Studio does not like tempo changes with recorded audio. Oh. And it's a pain in the butt to make it work. So I was like, screw it, I will use Reaper instead. So I actually recorded and mixed in Reaper, but I don't think many people even know the difference. Because it sounds like my sound still. You know, I was still able to I think I used Valhalla Room for the reverb instead of FL's reverb and things like that. I was just trying to make it sound as close to how it would sound in FL. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience using a completely different DAW than I'm used to for this track. But again, I think it turned out really, really well. You guys are going to like feel the feels, and I'm going to be working on the video for this as well in the coming weeks. So you guys should look out for that on my YouTube soon.
Definitely. Are you planning to do like videos for all of these tracks?
Not all of them, but I'm planning like 5 to 6 videos probably.
Damn.
So yeah, there'll be a decent chunk. I'm going to be out of town for most of September. So while I'm out of town, I want to have a backlog of videos that are just ready to go, and I can still, get the covers going like almost every week. So it looks like I'm active, but I'm actually on vacation.
Working on the road. Give yourself a rest sometime.
Yeah, still doing some promo. And no, it's fine. I mean, I won't be recording or anything during that time. It'll be a good break for me. I'm actually going to my best friend's wedding back in my hometown in Rochester, New York for a few days. So that'll be really fun. But yeah, still got to have those YouTube videos because I want to make sure that we get those CDs sold. I still have a decent number of CDs, and it's a limited run. So I want to make sure that I get it sold out faster. Like I don't want to hold on to them for months and months and months. So that's why I'm doing all this promo and putting those videos up and things like that. But yeah, back to the track, Bound by Fate. It's a great track. I think you guys are going to like what I did in the second half. And yeah, excited for you guys to hear it.
All right, folks, without any further ado, here it is, Bound by Fate. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, string player gamer, WTF, Steve Irwin. Like
Uh,
way to just like take that beautiful, beautiful music and just like slam it against a wall with a joke like that. Like,
yeah, I
oh,
believe SPG's talking about Miguel, possibly.
right.
But I could be wrong. But yeah, it's funny.
Oh man.
I mean, it's one of those tracks that like you just remember it because of where it plays in the game, you know? So I again I wanted to kind of be as faithful to it as possible in terms of the instrumentation. And okay, yeah, Miguel cosplaying as Steve. Okay, I
Okay.
was right.
Yeah.
And like having that same instrumentation when it came to the loop part, I wanted to do something different, right? And like add my own style to it. And that's typically what I do. And so that's why the second half, the tempo changes. We change meter as well. It goes to 3/4 when it was originally in 4/4.
Mm.
So it kind of has a little bit more of like almost like a dance waltzy kind of feel to it, but it's not like happy waltz. You know what I mean? It's kind of more of that like remorseful, like, oh my gosh, I'm being weighed down by, my choices and like all this stuff.
Or my dance partner.
So yeah.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. From the sounds of things, it comes from a very heavy moment
Yeah.
in the game. Yeah, definitely. Oh, gosh, and you had double bass and cello, and then did you play violin and viola as well? Almost
Yes.
not a
So
very untypical string quartet.
it's a quintet, technically,
Okay, right.
I guess. So it'd be violin one, violin two, viola, cello, and then
Oh,
double
okay, yeah,
bass.
yeah.
So it's all the instrumentation like that you'd have in an orchestra. It's just like one person per section playing the part, I guess. I was again, I could have layered it all and had people do multiple takes, but I was like, you know what? With 5 instruments going and the piano, like I felt like that'd be more than enough to kind of fill out the space and just kind of make it nice and wide and warm again with like the reverb and let that kind of just do its job and kind of create that really spacious feeling
Mhm.
within the mix.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent job mixing that for sure.
Thank you.
Hmm. Yeah, there it is. Diwa's like perfect production
Yeah.
quality.
It's
Chef's
so
kiss.
weird. I did that in Reaper. I was like, man, I somehow knew what I was doing in a DAW that I don't usually work in. So
Oh,
that's good. I'm very glad.
but Reaper is the VGM scene's champion. You know, like
It is. It
one
is.
of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
It'll happen. It'll happen. I'm just trying to slowly make my way, and like leave FL. The reason why I've stuck with FL for so long is because it does so well with the electronic elements.
Hmm.
And that's the other part of like what I do is I usually try to have like a hybrid of orchestral and electronic. And FL does amazingly with the electronic portion. So that's why I've stuck with it for so long. But yeah, more and more I'm like, man, yeah, I don't want to have to, go through all these little extra things just to get it to work in FL if I can just, basically just go ahead and record it in Reaper and it's fine. Just like from the get-go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Trying to think
Team
of what.
Logic. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what the hybrid is. I guess from my experience, it might be Ableton because Ableton is also really great with like that sequencing kind of
Yeah, I
stuff.
did hear that.
Yeah, Doll Wars. Pew pew. Oh man. Anyway, we're getting off track. We're here for
Yeah.
TeraCMusic's album release. Everyone, thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Oh
I'm
my
glad that you
god.
guys are liking the album so far. Got
Yeah.
some more to go though.
We do have
So
some more to
stick
go.
around.
Yeah. The next track, we also have a visual aid to draw us in even further to your wonderful musical vision, Tara. Do
Yay!
you want to talk to us a little bit about The Girl Who Stole the Stars? Is that you?
Yes.
Was it you? You're the reason we don't see any stars at night.
No, I'm not a thief.
Okay.
Kid's the thief.
All right. Okay. We'll tell
But-
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, The Girl Who Stole the Stars or Star Stealing Girl. I actually did a cover of this way back in 2014. And I liked the beginning, like the arrangement that I did for that. Again, it was a long time ago, and more recently, I was like, you know what? I kind of just want to redo one of my old videos. And so I looked back and I saw the girl stole the stars, star stealing girl, and I was like, I still really like the arrangement on this. So why don't I just basically one for one it, like do the same arrangement in the beginning, and then again for the loop, I kind of change it up and like just inject my style, give it the Tera treatment. And so that's what I ended up doing. And it's probably one of my favorites on the album for sure. I really like how the second half turned out. And this also is a little bit more sentimental to me because this was the cover that made me look into the Chrono Cross OST more, which led me to make the album.
Whoa.
So like this cover is the thing that started this whole album thing.
Origin story.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy. Some of you might have heard it already since I did post the cover back in November of last year. But again, this is remastered. So it's always a little bit different. But yeah, I hope you guys like it.
Little extra zazz for the album. Okay. Yeah, here it is. The Girl Who Stole the Stars. Ah, yeah, there it is, folks. The origin story, the track that started it all, and yeah, and that was like I don't know what your previous arrangement looked or sounded like, but that was really beautiful, and you did that all of yourself.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it's nice to be able to do a couple things, just completely on my own. I didn't want the album to be collaboration, every single track. I mean, it's mostly collaborations, but there are a couple tracks where it's just me. And I feel like that kind of allows it to breathe a little even.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of get back to like, oh, okay, so this is like just Tera, like just, they know what to expect if they've watched my covers. And yeah, someone noticed that I did put in a little bit of Shala, the at the very end. I just felt like it fit at the very end to just do that. And I'm always about injecting and just putting in, little melodies and little things here and there, like Easter eggs, I guess, into my arrangements to see if people notice and see if they can recognize what I put in there. So good on you guys for hearing it. I'm really, really happy.
and I think thematically as well, in terms of like the stories between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, that Kid and Shala have similar, not necessarily roles, but like their tragedies are kind of similar, and it's just a really touching way to splice that in there. I won't spoil anything, but
I know.
But
that is also why I did that, though.
But then again, like Chrono Cross came out in 1999, so if you haven't played that by now, that's your fault, I think.
That's true.
I'm not going to mention any names, Tera, but oh shit! No, it's all good. Hey, you're doing the music. That's kind of like playing Chrono Cross, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, right? I mean, I think so. I know where the songs play, like I feel like that's, I have the context for that. I don't cover music without knowing what the context is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I just don't like doing that. I like to do my research, and I like to have a little bit of information at least to go off of and make sure that I'm in the same, same realm in terms of, that performance. So, shots fired. Yeah. Well, it's okay. It's all right, guys. I had a PS1 for like maybe a few months, and then we switched it out to an N64, and that's why I never played any of the PS1 games. Aww. So
F's in chat for Tera's PS1.
My poor childhood that only had Nintendo.
Oh man. Oh gosh. The girl who stole the stars. Who's the person who stole your PS1?
Oh gosh.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm looking ahead to the next track here, and I think up next, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have a hidden track. Is that correct?
Yes, that should be track number 9.
Yeah,
right?
The dream that time dreams.
Dreams of the ages. Yeah, dream that time dreams. Yep, that's the bonus track that you guys will only get if you order and purchase on Bandcamp, whether it's a digital or the physical CDs. I just threw in a bonus track just to kind of incentivize and have people purchase through there. So yeah, you get extra track. Yeah, we can listen to it. It's definitely how do I even explain it? It's different than any of the other tracks that are on the album. In the sense of it being very powerful and kind of upbeat. I'm not sure if you guys know where this plays. This actually doesn't play in the game itself. Like not in the story, I should say. It plays if you leave the title screen on for long enough, and it's like one of those cutscenes. And then I think it plays during that. But it doesn't actually play in the game itself, like in the story. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I was like, this would be perfect for a bonus track because you don't actually hear it in the game itself. So it'd be a little extra add-on. Like if you get it, like cool, it's a little gem for you. But this one was a something that I want to say, but I don't want to swear, to mix. And it was
you can swear if you want to, by the
way. It's okay. It was a pain. It was a pain to mix and get sounding good. And thankfully, again, Julia did a really great job mastering it so that it still fit in with the rest of the tracks because, again, dynamically, it's just very different. So, yeah, I like how it turned out, though. Again, she did a great job. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.
All right, awesome. And I've just been like saying the titles, but I don't want to steal your fun. Do you want to just say, and here's?
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
All right. And here is Dreams of the Ages.
Beautiful, and of course, paying homage to the earlier Chrono entries in the series.
Yep,
Oh
yep.
man, the one previous entry. Um, yeah. Oh
Yes.
man, Dream
That's
of the Ages.
It's a good track. I mean, again, we were talking like while it was playing, but like I don't know why it's not in the game. Like the game. Like it's such a great track. Like, you feel like you're going on an adventure, Like it's so uplifting, upbeat, and yeah, like SPG is talking about the solo. Like I really am proud of the solo that I put in there as well. Just again to kind of give it a little bit of my style. But yeah, it was super fun. It was a pain to mix and it was difficult for Julia to master, but I still think it was worth it in the end. And yeah, I'm still happy that I made that track.
Hmm. Definitely, and I feel like if composers are putting things like that into the games in like weird spots, it's for the true fans, right? You
Yes,
know,
that's true. It's very true. I
things
agree.
like
I
that,
absolutely
things
agree.
like the 64th loop on the windscreen in Mario Kart 64. Like yeah, just like those little hidden gems for the patient people. You know, yeah.
For the true
The
fans, for
true
the
fans, the
true
people
ones.
who just
Yeah.
left the TV on and fell asleep. That's the true fans, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh gosh. And you did that one all yourself as well.
Yes, yeah. Some people were commenting about the synths. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was actually thinking about having someone do the flute part and piccolo part in the beginning, but I was like, if I'm gonna label this as a hybrid album, like hybrid of orchestral and electronic, I'm like, I should probably just make the synths do that little part and just kind of eject a little bit. I keep saying inject, but like just keep
Yeah.
putting in more and more synths and VSTs here and there to kind of just make it sound like that hybrid, like that sound that I want, that quality that I want. So,
Yeah.
um,
Inject the
yeah,
shit out of that. Just like hook me up to the IV and let's go, like
yeah. I
Oh,
don't know, strings and VST, like electronic. I don't know. I feel like it goes together really well. If I were to like mesh them together and have them both playing the exact same melody or whatever, like it gives you a very interesting timbre to it. So I don't know. There's something about that I really enjoy, and that's probably why I've stuck to putting in electronic stuff in my covers. So
oh, definitely. Awesome. Well, we only have a couple more tracks left on this album, and then we're done.
yeah.
Yeah, gosh, looking at the last two here, we've got up next, "Life: A Distant Promise." That's kind of a dark
Oh
title, isn't
man.
it?
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Again, the original source. You guys will hear it, but if you guys know Radical Dreamers, the melody to that, um, Mitsuda, genius, he takes the da na 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 na, like he takes that part and turns it into an ostinato. And ostinato basically is a repeated melodic pattern. And you'll hear that it starts out very slow, and then it gets quicker, and then it just repeats, and then a whole new track is born out of that ostinato. It's absolutely amazing. It's probably one of my favorite tracks that Mitsuda has actually composed. Like it's so good. And I did my best to keep to that feel and the instrumentation. There's really not too much deviation in this one. There's a little bit in the end where I added some synths, but for the most part, it's pretty faithful to the original. So
Awesome. And you said you had some help from Jeremiah Barkus on this track as
Barkus,
well.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, he is part of the Dairy String Quartet. I'm not sure if you've heard of them,
Oh, yeah.
but okay, just making sure.
Nice.
But yeah, I've worked with him a couple of times. Actually, I worked with him when I was in Korea. He sent some recordings remotely and played cello for me for Cap'n Song and Legacy, which is from Devil May Cry 5. And I wanted to have him on this album because he did such a great job with the other two. He's always very, very like punctual, and his recordings are phenomenal. And so I was like, all right, if he's up for it, I would love to have him play the cello for this. And so he was again more than willing to do that. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear the final result. So if it's okay if I go ahead and lead in.
Yes, do it.
Okay. So yeah. Here is Life, a Distant Promise.
Sorry for the awful
I know,
noises.
I'm sorry. All the feels, I know.
You're just turning blubbering messes into everybody here.
Yeah.
Hydrate, everybody. Please just keep yourself hydrated because tears also have water in them.
That is very true.
And now you know. I'll probably cry if the version with lyrics comes on. Oh, oh, wow. Yeah, you did an excellent job. Jeremiah did an excellent job. Oh my god.
Yeah, the cello solo, when I heard that, when I dropped in his audio, he also did the backing cello parts as well. So he sent me 4 backing parts and then the cello solo, which was recorded like mid-side, which I have never really worked with mid-side recordings before, so I don't know if anyone even knows what that is, but it's like you have two mics being placed in different areas, and then it kind of the I actually don't know which one, but one of them captures the room sound more, and then the other one captures the closeness like of the instrument and stuff. But yeah, working with that was interesting, and I just quickly like learned how to like mix with that. But that's why it sounds so good and it cuts through really well because he recorded mid-side. And yeah, it's just so good. When I heard that for the first time, I was like about to cry because I was like, this is so gorgeous. I can just feel the emotion. Yes, this is what I want. So yeah, it's really, really well done on his part. And I just did what I could to, make sure that it lived up to the original.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, it did. Yeah. Yeah. As evidenced by everybody in chat. Thank you, everybody. We just have one more left. Oh God.
Yes.
And this is the big one. This is the big one.
It is the big one.
This is the nightcap right here. Yeah, this is the one that's going to send us all to sleep in our tears. Right?
Hopefully, in a good way, in the best way possible.
Tara's just like, yes, your tears come.
Give them to me.
No, but in the best way too, of course.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this one, it's a doozy, honestly. Like the very beginning of the arrangement is again pretty faithful, 1-to-1. And well, pretty much the whole thing is fairly faithful. But the big change that I did to this cover versus the original was to slow the heck down. Because honestly, listening to the original Radical Dreamers, yeah, it sounds really nice. It's beautiful, but in my opinion, it's too fast. Like I can't get the emotion out of it when it's that fast. And plus, speaking in Japanese, did I spoil it? I sing in
spoilers.
Japanese. Singing in Japanese that fast is hard again to kind of get the delivery correct and to really get the emotions across. So what I did is I told my collaborator, Checker, I've worked with him before on Final Fantasy X Suteki Dane cover. That was a few years back. But he was kind enough to do the guitar part for me for this track. And I told him, like, slow it down. Like, do like maybe 120-ish BPM. Just kind of make it a little bit slower, a little bit chiller, and then I can sing and really have a good delivery for the lyrics and the vocals for that. And yeah, I love how it turned out. I added some strings in there, had some choir harmonies and, things like that. The very beginning is pretty bare bones though, but I'm sure you guys will still enjoy it. And yeah, there will be a video for this one. So hopefully sometime in October we'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. This is Radical Dreamers.
All right, here we go. I hope you have a life raft for your tears.
Yes, it's okay.
Sorry, announce it again. It feels good, doesn't it?
Okay, yes. Here is Radical Dreamers. 幼い手に包んだ震えてるその光をここまでたどってきた時間の淵をさまよい探し続けてきたよ名前さえ知らないけれどただ一つの想いを
ずっと私の胸の奥にいつからかいびいていた夜露の雫よりもかすかなささやきだけど
There we are. Beautiful. Much cry, much wow. Absolutely. Uh, what do you
Yep.
say after that?
I, I don't even know. Even I'm speechless, and it's my own freaking cover.
Oh, you thoroughly impressed yourself. Good job.
Pretty much, yeah. Like when I get goosebumps and chills to my own stuff, that's when I know that it's like, okay, we're on the right track here. So yeah, I'm just in awe in that one. It's really funny actually because Checker and I had wanted to do that track a few years ago, and my vocals, I actually still have the old vocals from when I was gonna do it. Like I don't even know when it was, 2016, 2017. I don't even know. Um, but that's such a night and day difference because the old vocals were very nasally, like the original artist, and this one I was like, no, I can't have it. It just sounds too like, I don't know. It's like kind of cringy even hearing the "watashi no mune no oku ni," like it was just too nasal. So I actually took some voice lessons from Julia Henderson, who mastered the album, but she's also she's a wonderful vocalist.
Mhm.
And so since she already covered Radical Dreamers herself, and I really liked the tone and the just the quality that she got out of her voice when she sang the Japanese, I basically took some lessons from her, and she helped me basically change how I was thinking like the lyrics, and yeah, it definitely sounds a lot warmer and just more me.
More of the Tera treatment trademark.
Yeah, I guess so. I do realize now, having the lessons from her, like my voice doesn't have to be whiny and like nasally like that. It doesn't have to be bright. I know how to make it darker now, which is again something I'm really happy that I waited to like make this cover of, because if I made the cover back then, I don't know if I would have liked it that much. So I'm really happy that I waited until like this album to actually create and finish this track. So yeah. Stop whining. I'm not whining. No, not anymore.
Oh my gosh. Well, all that hard work definitely paid off. That's the album, everyone. And if you go over to Bandcamp right now, you can get it for yourself, or if you are very lucky, we might be able to just give you one right here, right now. I have picked out everybody's name from the chat and put it into a random name drawer. And we have one more Bandcamp code to give away, folks.
Yes, we do.
Tara, do you want to give me like a little drum roll here?
Oh gosh, I'm not prepared. Okay, all right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah. And the winner is... Sorry, it's taking so long. AIEXIAXO.
Wow.
I don't know how to pronounce that, but if you are in chat, why don't you wave your hand, because we've got an album code to hand over. Yeah, if you already have the album, please let us know. We would love to draw another name and pass that along. But otherwise, congratulations, and I will be sliding into your DMs. For the sole purpose of giving you a Bandcamp code.
Just for the Bandcamp code.
Yes, definitely. No other invasion of privacy or otherwise good day. Yes, congratulations. So yes, everybody, if you don't have it already, head on over to the Bandcamp to purchase. That is, of course, the best way to support Tera. With this release, and otherwise, yeah, definitely, the album link is in the chat there as well. Oh God, thanks, Taladar. All the validation I can get, I'll take it.
Not yet. Yeah,
not yet.
None yet.
Give me another 10 years. We'll see. No. Oh God, what am I saying? Anyway, Tara, do you want to say smart words and save this stream before we close things here on a bad note?
So if you do want to support me on Bandcamp, like Josh said, that is the best way to show your support. Not only do I have the digital on there, but I do have 2 CDs. I have the standard CD, and then I have the signed CD that you can get as well. And if you do purchase those, you do get a digital download. It includes a digital download, so you don't have to wait until forever to get the CD. You still have access to the tracks, to the album through Bandcamp. So that is definitely something you can look into. The CDs are being produced right now. I'm not sure when it's actually going to get here. Hopefully in the next couple weeks. But I'm going to be sending them out like as soon as I can when I get them. We got some people who have pre-ordered, and so they already reserved their copies. So yeah, if you want to nab yours, because it's a limited run, there's only 100 CDs, give or take, because it might actually be less depending on the production company, but let's just say like about 100 CDs total, and so some people have already reserved theirs, so you want to jump on that when you can, and yeah, reserve your copy if you want a physical. And I ship internationally, so it doesn't matter where you are. I will ship it to you. So thank you guys so much for being here, for listening with us. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed the album. It just makes it all worth it in the end. All the effort, all the stress, everything that I put into it the past like 10 months, it's all been worth it, because I can tell that you guys really enjoy listening to it. And yeah, that means the world to me. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, and thank you, Tara, for being here on the channel. I've just had a genuine wonderful time hanging out with you. be it in front of these wonderful people or backstage. It's been really great hanging out and getting to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. And congratulations on the album, all the success. Do you have any other like press events or coverage coming up that you're excited about that you want to share with people?
I am gonna be at, oh god, I'm pretty sure it's called Ghost Con, which is in October. It's a virtual event.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be trying to do like at least 1 or 2 Halloween covers so that I can like do a performance, and kind of like hype up the Halloween, that get that spirit going.
Yeah.
So I've got that in October. Not sure if I'm gonna go to MagFest. We'll see. It's a little bit different being on the other side of the US. I think you can relate. It's expensive.
Yep.
When I was in New York, it wasn't that expensive. Now I'm like, ooh. So we'll see on that. But other than that, like the next thing I have in the works, really, and probably won't be out for a while, but I would love to do an original album next.
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah. Yes, please. I mean, it's going to be, I know it's going to be full of emotions and beautiful instrumentation.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you're thinking about it, that's enough for my support.
Yay.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap things up here. Again, thank you so much for coming out and supporting Tera and her amazing new album. I don't know what else to say. We'll put on some VGM for you for a little bit. Let everyone trickle out, and then if people are still sticking around after a few minutes, we'll maybe go raid somebody.
Ooh, that sounds good. I do want to just quickly mention, because SPG mentioned it in the chat and I forgot. I will be performing with SPG on his channel. He's got like a Twitchversary thing next month. I'm going to be doing a collaboration with him on the 26th, and it's going to be like kind of live as we can get it, I guess. So that's going to be really, really fun. I'm excited for the tech tests for that one to figure out, how we're going to set it up. But
I'm excited to find out how the hell this is going to work. Yeah.
It's going to be
always what you want to hear.
Sonobus, I think, is the like app or DAW or something.
Oh, okay.
So I have to look into it more, honestly, myself. But it seems like we might be able to kind of almost have a live performance together. Just one person leads, the other kind of follows.
Right. Yeah, I think I've seen some people do that before. That sounds awesome.
So I don't know. We'll see. It's really exciting. And 26th on September, we'll go ahead and do that. I think it's at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Pretty sure.
Very nice.
So.
Well, cool. All right. Well, unless you want to interrupt me with any other vital news.
I'm good. I'm good. Go ahead.
All right. Cool. Thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you around.